Alright guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you all for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. As you see from the title of the video, this is going to be my Q&A, and you guys asked some really cool questions, so I'm actually pretty hyped to make this video. Thank you guys that took the time out to ask the questions. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, with no further ado, man, let's start this thing up, hit the road, and answer you guys' questions. Wow, all that carbon looks really good, man. Every time I see it, it's just so good. Such a good look. Full titanium Akrapovic exhaust system, by the way. Wow, look at this carbon, man. It's just beautiful. Alright, so let's hit this local cruise, and then gonna answer some questions. So just a heads up and a fair warning, I will be butchering you guys' names, so apologies for that. Hopefully no one gets upset about that. It is what it is. But yeah, the first question, which is 2 for 1 because both of you guys asked the same question, but I think it's Grassmine. Sorry dude if I butchered the name, but Grassmine and Hunter Theus asks, what is your next bike? Great question, guys. First of all, Hunter Theus has his own channel. He's been doing really well. His page has actually been picking up as of recent, and unfortunately he got into an accident with his 2020 R6. So be sure to check his channel out. I'll leave it linked in the description below, man. I've been watching him since he had the 400, which he sold to his brother. They lived in Ohio, ended up moving to North Carolina, yada. But to answer both of these guys' question, the next bike is definitely going to be a Grom. The Grom is just such a fun bike, man. It's a blast. I want to learn how to stunt on it, and it's cheap. It's cheap, so I won't break the bank. So that's definitely going to be the next bike. Thank you guys for the question, man. Alright, so the next question comes from Nathan Thompson, who asks, do you have any more modifications planned for the good old S1000? Honestly, dude, I do not. I do have the carbon fiber frame covers and the carbon fiber intake portion for the nose, but I don't think I'm gonna put those on. I'll show you guys real quick. I have the carbon fiber that goes in the middle here, but I don't know if I'm gonna put that on or not. It's a lot of work. I really don't feel like doing it. And as far as the frame covers goes, I was having fitment issues when I tried to put them on. But I think as the bike is right now, I'm all set with modifications. I put a lot of money into this thing, and I'm pretty much kind of over it. At this point, I just want to enjoy the bike. I don't really care about mods. But yeah, I think I'm all done with modifications, man. I think this bike is pretty done up as is. So I don't know what the future holds, but as of right now, I am indeed done with the modifications for this bike. So thanks again, Nathan, for the question. All right, so the next question comes from HENNESSY Boss Ota J.A. out of Jamaica. What's up, dude? Thanks for watching the channel. Thanks for the question, man. Really appreciate all the support from Jamaica. Paradise Biker, appreciate you guys, man. But HENNESSY Boss asks, how hot does your bike get? So you know, this is a 1000cc super bike, so it's gonna get pretty hot, and you know, it gets about the 212 to 220-ish. It's fairly decent. He also asks, is it bearable? And you know, for someone like me, I'm not really out here rocking pounds of gear and all that. I ride pretty chill, and by chill I mean I ride like, you know, with a t-shirt on like I'm doing now and some jeans, and that's it. Call it a day. So yeah, it's bearable. I don't feel like I ever have to get off the bike. Like some people have ridden Ducatis and they said they had to legitimately get off the bike at stoplights and all that. I will say that this bike does let out the heat towards your left ankle. I guess when it gets to a certain temperature or whatever, the heat just kind of gets pushed towards your left ankle. So if you're not wearing jeans, or let's say you're wearing jeans and they're kind of like high waters or whatever, if you're not wearing long durable socks, your ankle will be on fire and you will regret it. I've had times where I had to ride this bike like this, literally my feet off, hit the shift, get my feet back off or get my foot back off, and it looks pretty funny, but it usually lets the heat out for like, I don't know, 15 seconds or whatever, and then it goes back to normal. But yeah, that's the only issue I've had heat-wise with this bike. Other than that, man, pretty solid. Right now I'm at a steady 200 and it's close to 80 degrees out here, and we're in traffic a little bit, so. So yeah, man, Hennessy Boss, thank you for the question. Thank you for watching and supporting the channel all the way from Jamaica, man. Definitely appreciate it. All right, so we have another 2 for 1. We have Nafil and Victor asking, do I plan to do any track days? And honestly, guys, I'm probably not going to do any track days, at least not anytime soon. I would love to go to the track, but not anytime soon. Not on this bike. I would need a second bike for that, just to feel comfortable. I don't want to go ripping around the track on a very expensive sport bike that I invested a lot of money on. But I don't know, maybe in the future, man. I'm not really trying to hone in on godlike skills on a sport bike. I'm not really that kind of guy. I could kind of care less. But I mean, the track just looks fun in general. That's why I would want to go. It's not really to gain any sort of, again, godlike skill on a sport bike to be able to brag and boast. I would just go for fun, man. Nafil also asks, what is your dream cruiser? So my dream cruiser is the Harley-Davidson Sportster 48. Doing a sick little bobber bill with that would be freaking amazing. But yeah, man, both of you guys, thanks for the question. I appreciate it. All right, so our gas light is on, so I got to stop for some gas real quick. But Crispy 211, my boy, asks, what is your dream bike if money wasn't a thing, huh? If money wasn't a thing, what would I buy? Well, since I'm pulled over here at the gas station, I'll answer that really quickly. Look at that thing, huh? You're looking at it. Crispy, you are looking at it. This is my dream bike. I don't really equate dream to you know, how much a bike is. Like, I know obviously there are way more expensive bikes than this. This is a 5-year-old S1000RR after all. This is my dream bike, man. This is it. I don't really have any other bike that I actually like dreamed about. You know, this was the bike for me where I was on the forums and I was reading pages and pages and pages of the forums, and I was downloading the manual, and I would like read pages of the manual. When I brought this bike, it actually came with a manual, and I would sit there and read the manual when I got the bike. And yeah, man, that's my dream bike, man. Like I remember I still have it actually, but I have a playlist on YouTube. What's up, man? Can I have $10 on number 1, please? Yes. And so I made a playlist on YouTube of all these S1000 videos that I enjoyed and watched so much. Thank you. And I would watch that thing like it was a movie, man. I would literally watch from video number 1 all the way to whatever the last number video is. And yeah, man, I really, real deal dreamed of this bike. I mean, look, see what that plate says, man? This is real deal. I don't say this for YouTube. I don't say this to sound cool. I don't say it for any other reason than this being my absolute dream bike, man. So yeah, that's it. I'm literally riding my dream bike, and I'm pretty happy about that, man. Nothing else really grabs my eye like that. So yeah, there you go, Crispy. There's your answer, man. Thanks for asking the question. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you supporting the channel for a good little minute too, man. Love seeing you around. All right, so the next question comes from Andre Medell. Dude, I love your name. First of all, Andre's my middle name, so you know I'm rocking with it. But Andre asks, do you ever, or would you like to come to California to ride in the nice weather, in the nice 24/7 weather that we have here? And heck yeah, man, I would love to ride in California. Dude, that place is magical to me, man. Everything is dope there. Cars, bikes, scooters, electric bikes, like whatever you're into, the scene there is just fire looking, man. And then you have the scenery. You just can't beat it, honestly, man. But you know, if that's, I don't know when or if that's gonna happen, but yeah, I would definitely love to. Thanks for asking the question and supporting the channel, man. So the next question comes from Mancy S1000 or S1000R. I was gonna say S1000RR. I'm so used to saying that. But Mancy S1000R asks, do you ever give rides on your bike? And absolutely, man. That's one of my favorite things to do. I'm not a big fan of riding with a passenger, really. On a sport bike, it can kind of be a hassle, but I do enjoy sharing the experience, especially when it's a completely random chick that just asked for a ride, never been on a bike before. It's it's a great time because I ride how I ride. I ride pretty chill, and with the passenger I'm even more chill and more laid back. So oh, we got a tunnel. But yeah, tunneled in the corner. Woo! I love it. Love this bike. And you also mentioned something about the pegs. I do agree. Taking off the pegs off of any sport bike looks amazing. And you said something about the seat cowl as well. I'm not a fan of the seat cowl. I just like having seats. It's just personal preference. But yeah, hey, I mean 650 Ebe on his M1000RR did a seat cowl and had a paint match to the bike, which was really dope. That's something I've never seen before. I would consider doing something like that, but as far as just doing a regular bland seat cowl, not really my style. But if it's your style, it's your style. But yeah, man, thanks for the question. I appreciate it. And thanks for always supporting the channel, man. I've seen you around so much via YouTube and Instagram, so I really do appreciate it. All right, so the next question comes from Ashwath, who asks, apart from BMW, what is your favorite motorcycle? Well, first and foremost, BMW is not my favorite motorcycle. This model specifically is my dream bike, so it's one of my favorites, but I'm not a BMW brand ambassador by any means. I really don't like BMW that much. I'm a JDM guy, JDM being Japanese shit. I like JDM stuff. So apart from the S1000RR, I would say Honda, man. I wanted a CBR real bad when I first started riding. That was like my dream 600 first bike kind of thing. I just love the middle exhaust and everything about the CBR. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find one, so I ended up with a 09 ZX6R, which of course is the model. The 1 year that Kawasaki does a straight 600 motor in their ZX6R was the model that I picked up, so I didn't even get that extra bump in power and torque like the other 636 guys usually get. But yeah, man, Honda, and I would say Harley. I'm a big Harley fan. I just love bobber bills and cruisers and stuff like that. And I also started riding on a cruiser, so that's why I more like the cruiser bikes over the sport bikes in general anyways, which is going to lead me into this next question, which comes from Labs, who's asking what motivated you to start riding. So if you watch my How I Got Into Motorcycling video, you know the answer to that question, but if you didn't, it's fine, I'm gonna answer it anyways. So my buddy Angelo ended up getting a Suzuki Savage 650. It's a cruiser bike, and I'll put it up on the screen so you guys can see what it looks like. He ended up getting that bike and bobbering it out. After seeing him ride that bike for the first time, I was like, wow, aesthetically riding a motorcycle just looks really cool and badass. I want one. I want to do that. I want to look like him. And that's pretty much all the motivation I needed, man. He also actually let me ride the bike, so you know, if you want to get more deep into it, you could check out the How I Got Into Motorcycling video. And after he let me ride that bike, man, that was pretty much it. I was like, yep, I need a motorcycle. This thing is one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. I want one. I need one. Where's my bike? And that's pretty much how I got motivated into motorcycling. I also started at a later age. I started riding when I was like 24, 25. You know, most people start young, they start on dirt bikes and stuff like that. I literally just jumped from no bike, no experience, no anything, not even watching YouTube videos about them, not really caring about them much at all until my buddy got his. And then once he got his and I saw him riding around, I was like, oh, yep, gotta do it. Gotta do it. That looks like a good time. I want to experience that. So the next question comes from DB, who asks, I've been riding dirt bikes for years and I'm thinking about getting a street bike. What street bike do you recommend? Well, there's not enough information in this question to answer that. I don't know your height, I don't know your weight, I don't know how good of a rider you actually are. I don't know if you're ripping up trails or just riding your dirt bike on the street around your area or something. Like, I really don't know how to answer this, but I would say choosing your bike really comes down to you and what you plan on doing when you're out here riding. Do you want to go fast? Do you want to cruise? Are you using it for commuting? Are you going to be taking passengers? Like, it all comes down to you. I can't really recommend something for someone else. But I would say if you are considering a sport bike for street riding, I would avoid it, unless you have one dream bike that you absolutely want to get, and it still happens to be a sport bike, and then you can make it work like I do. These bikes really aren't realistic for the street commuting stuff and casual street riding, and plus to have fun on a sport bike, you got to go really fast, and that gets tempting, obviously. So that's my advice to you. Can't really recommend a bike, but you know, hopefully you get that sorted in the future. I do appreciate the question, and I do appreciate you supporting the channel, so thanks, man. All right, guys, so we got another 2-for-1 question here, and coming from Everton Brown and Ziggy Stardust, they're both asking, what advice do you have for New York City riders out here in these treacherous streets of New York City, and how is it riding with aggressive drivers and certain highways like the Jackie and the Belt, as Everton mentioned? Those are some really sketchy highways here. Well, as you can see from most of my videos, I kind of avoid the aggressive highways such as the Belt and the Jackie unless I absolutely have to take them. Now, if you're in a situation where you absolutely do have to take it, honestly, you know, not sugarcoating anything, you got to know what you're signing up for when you're getting into motorcycling in New York City. It's not going to be a walk in the park, a piece of cake. You have to be very aggressive out here. You have to either match or be more aggressive than the drivers. You're going to come off like you're riding like a dick. You're going to come off like an asshole. But if you want to avoid certain situations and pretty much stay alive, you know, that's what you got to do. Unfortunately, I would say you always have to be aware of your surroundings. You got to look around. I would say don't do what I did and take my mirrors off the bike. It's you want to be able to see behind you, but again, man, it's riding in New York City is an ugly game. You look look what that wild shit that dude just did as I'm cutting over here, you see? So listen, you got to be on point, know your surroundings, be fully aware, and hopefully you have a little bit of lady luck on your side as well. It gets ugly, man. It gets ugly. So just know what you're getting yourself into, know what you're signing up for, and shit, man, you got to be cautious and aggressive at the same time. It's a really twisted way to ride here, but it is what it is.